Get real.
Welcome back to the Dead on Arrival Media Club. Today on the Dead on Arrival Media Club, we are talking about 2024 movies, but not the ones that were nominated for this year's Academy Awards.
There were many a great snubs this year, but
True.
We're not talking about the Oscars. This is the non-nom. This is the non-nominated.
The non-nom-nom-nom-nom-nom.
The nom-nom-nom. This is the
non-nominated. The nom-nom-nom awards.
The nom-nom-nom awards. A bunch of movies, great movies that didn't get picked. Let's start on. Tennis player turned coach Tashi has taken her husband, Art, and transformed him into a world-famous major champion. To jolt him out of his recent losing streak, she signs him up for a challenger event close to the lowest level of pro tournament, where he finds himself standing across the net from his former best friend and Tashi's former boyfriend. Challengers was the first movie Luca Guadagnino released this year. We saw it both in theaters. And
I saw it twice.
I saw it once, and immediately after leaving the theater, I thought that, okay, well, that's just going to win Best Picture. That's
when we saw it, I was pretty confident that Zendaya would be up for Best Actress. One of the two fuckers would be up for Supporting Actor. It would be in Best Picture. It would be in Best Screenplay. It would win Best Score. Luca would probably be in Best Director, probably Best Editing. And it received none of those.
None of it. I thought it was going to be like an Amadeus situation where both actors got nominated for the same category.
True. Yeah.
But true. Nothing at all. Challengers, I loved this fucking movie.
It's amazing.
I thought this one was really great across the entire board. You know, editing, story, direction, performance, soundtrack.
Clever script.
Clever script. You know, here's my tagline. Yeah. The boys are playing tennis, but Zendaya's playing chess.
Exactly.
Boom. All right.
It's just a fun idea on a, basic idea of a love triangle.
Mm-hmm.
But the girl is the master manipulator, just trying to see some good tennis. It's a great sports movie.
Absolutely.
I would say the best sports movie of probably the decade.
The way, I know it's sort of become like a Twitter meme now, but that scene where the camera is the ball and it's flying across the court.
It's awesome.
That's just electrifying when you saw it in the theater.
It's awesome.
And that ending was like,
great.
When you make a love triangle movie, you're like, all right, who's gonna get fucked in this one? Who are the two that are gonna get together? But this one, it ends sort of suddenly, but in the only way that it ever could have ended satisfyingly.
Yeah.
There's just not much to say about it, I think everyone does great in this movie. Zendaya, she's usually an actor I don't really care about. I don't think she's bad, but
I think she's in bad movies.
I think I can see that.
Or I think she takes boring roles. Like the MCU Spider-Man movies aren't really that bad, but her character is so boring in them.
I just don't think usually she gives notable performances. Like I really like. I don't know if she was in the first Dune. She was in the second Dune.
I think so.
And I thought she was okay in the second Dune, but just not a notable actor because nobody is in those Dennis Villeneuve videos.
Yeah, no.
They're all psychopaths and that they lack emotion.
Yes.
I may not like that director, but that's a story for another day.
Denis Villeneuve. I've only seen the first Dune, and I just kind of thought it didn't make me feel anything.
Sicario was alright. But Zendaya is great in this movie. She plays such a awesome bitch.
Yeah.
Just a total cunt. You're like, I hate her. I hate her so much, and I can't wait to see what she does next.
Exactly.
It's really amazing.
I think if one of the two guys had to have been up for awards, I would pick Josh O'Connor.
Is that the sort of Jewish looking one?
That's the schlubby one, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He's good.
I still need to see La Chimera, where he starred in that from this year or from last year. Challenger's amazing movie. I gave it a 10. I gave it a solid 10.
I did too on first watch.
10 triple stars.
Yeah. And the soundtrack.
The score is amazing.
It's great. I'm a big fan of Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Social Network, great score. Zodiac, great score. The Killer had a great score. And Challengers might be their finest work, honestly.
It sounds like a 2000s like sports game.
Yeah.
It fits the movie so well, and it's notable, but it doesn't distract from what's going on screen. It just enhances it even more.
Yes.
It's really great. Queer. 1950. William Lee, an American expat in Mexico City, spends his days almost entirely alone, except for a few contacts with other members of the small American community. His encounter with Eugene Allerton, an expat former soldier new to the city, shows him for the first time that it might finally be possible to establish an intimate connection with somebody. The second film by Luca Finding Nemo. This one we're a bit more divisive on. And I just want to come out and say it. I fucking love this movie. This is my second favorite movie of the year, behind Challengers.
Okay, Queer kind of confused me. I watched it. I'm going to admit to maybe a sin in that I like to watch trailers. So I watched the trailer for Queer just to see, like, get a glimpse of what it is. Because it didn't really have a wide release, like, at all. It came out to no fanfare, to be honest. I saw the trailer, and it looked mostly like Daniel Craig in the cafe talking to gay people. But then occasionally in the trailer, it would jump to, like, when they're in the jungle, getting jumped by snakes, and I was like, what's going on in this movie? I have to see it. So I saw it. It kind of, it starts off good. Daniel Craig's hanging out with the twink. There's a fun Jason Schwartzman character. And then it kind of just floats, and then they travel and go to the jungle. But I don't know. And then it gets super weird in the third act, which is cool. It has some cool imagery. But I don't know. I don't feel like it really, like, moves on. It's kind of just one thing the whole movie. Which with its length, I wasn't expecting.
I thought this was one of the most relatable and...
Really?
I thought this was one of the most relatable and sort of not, what's the opposite of heartwarming? Like when your heart gets ripped out of your chest.
Heartbreaking. Soul crushing.
One of the most relatable and heartbreaking character studies I've ever seen. I just want to first, before I get into it, I liked the style of this more than Challengers, because Challengers is very flashy, but I really appreciate just how grand and sort of mid 20th century hazy Mexico this like feels. I love the cinematography in this movie. I never got tired of looking at it. Just visuals alone. And the soundtrack, very, very weird.
Cool soundtrack.
A lot of
weird needle drops.
It was extremely weird needle drops that I felt never took me out of it. I never felt like I wasn't in the 1950s, even when I'm hearing like Nirvana and Prince.
Yeah, Come As You Are by Nirvana plays pretty much in its entirety in this movie.
Right, and this is just a side note. There's that Prince song, I think it's called...
Musicology?
No, not Musicology, it's the other one. It's from Piano and a Microphone.
Oh, yeah.
17 Days. There was a solid period like 4 or 5 years ago where I listened to that Piano and a Microphone version of 17 Days on loop for like a month.
Oh, wow.
And then at the beginning, there's like a scene right out of the restaurant as they're leaving. You hear the needle drop and he's like, is that my echo? And it all flooded back. It all flooded back to me. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But about the movie itself, I thought narratively, this was really well done. Because at the beginning, I just want to first also say that based on the book by William S. Burroughs, same author who did the book that was that Naked Lunch was based on, and I vastly prefer Daniel Craig playing William Lee over Peter Weller playing William Lee in Naked Lunch. I think he did much more with the character.
More memorable.
Definitely. But I loved how at the beginning, he's sort of like this relatively well put together guy. Like he's sort of fucked up, but he's like a writer. You get little glimpses of him. He's in Mexico City just getting drunk, sort of doing heroin on the side. But it doesn't feel like he has like a crazy life. That's just sort of routine for him. And near that beginning, he has like this sort of aura to him where he's like one of those like that's literally me characters, you know? And then he starts sucking cock, and you're like, "That's not me. That's not me. It's not me.
That's not me.
That's not me." But he's like that, where he's sort of like suave, and then he just so happens to just see this one guy that he falls so madly in love with that it sort of just drives him nuts.
Yeah.
It's like all he can think about. Especially since the guy's like, it's like a situationship where the guy doesn't like hate him or like wants nothing to do with him, but he's just sort of lukewarm on him. He's like, yeah, you know. And at the beginning, there was those moments, Daniel Craig sitting next to the guy he's in love with, and there's like a layer of him sitting and then like touching his face as if he's like fantasizing about just like not being so reserved and just going out and expressing his emotions.
It's a cool visual.
And it's a really great visual. And the whole bit about him going to get the Yahe, I sort of didn't get it at first.
Yeah.
But then it just clicked with me of like, it's this guy who is just trying to grasp so hard at the fact that maybe deep down this person feels the same way. And he will trek into the jungle to get a telekinesis drug to try and unlock that. And I think that scene when they get the ayahuasca and there's that mental conversation that's just so short and to the point where it says, I'm not queer. It says, I know. It's so heartbreaking. And I think just the sense of yearning that the character has is so relatable.
That's true.
You know? And like him being sort of like withdrawing from opioids being like a parallel to that lovesick feeling. And I thought that the ending where he was very old and there's like that, he's like fantasizing that he's with him and holding him. Yeah. I thought that was one of the most like depressing yet romantic endings I've ever seen. It was so, it ripped my heart out of my chest. And Jason Schwartzman is just an awesome fat gay guy in this movie. He is so fucking awesome.
I've never seen him like that.
I was worried whenever the movie was sort of like leaving that sort of Mexico City setting. It's like, oh, that's the last I'm gonna see of him.
Yeah. And
then he's at the bar again, and you're like, oh god, he's gonna come back, and he does. I like
the epilogue or whatever, where it's like a year later.
Yeah, and it happened there. Because I watched this on torrented it, and there's that scene in the jungle when they're leaving, and the twink sort of starts getting ahead of him, like he's losing track. And then it just like the camera swishes up and he's in space floating through.
That was pretty cool.
And for a solid second, I didn't believe that was the movie. I thought it was gonna be like a casino ad that they put on like torrents, you know? Like go to www.freemovies.x to watch the rest of the movie. I totally thought that's what's gonna happen, but no, he's sort of floating through. But it makes sense after watching it, because I think, you know, he's just so in love with the guy that after it's obvious that it's done for, it's a dead horse, that he just sort of meanders, and there's nothing really notable about his life afterwards, because he doesn't really have anything to look forward to. But yeah, I just really love this movie. I thought this was great. I thought the gay sex scenes were done very tastefully. And they did not make my penis hard.
Well, yeah. It did. I did kind of start questioning, like, how did they do this?
Right.
Because there's a scene where Daniel Craig is like passionately sucking the cock of the young twink, and you basically see his mouth on his pubes. It's like, what are they shooting here? What's the workaround here? I don't know. Can't figure it out yet.
It's at the beginning too when he's fucking the Mexican dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, even if it's not in your mouth, it's right there.
Yeah.
It's right there. We're gonna show it on screen. And then he like wipes his mouth, and you can see like the cum on his shirt. It's just so.
Yeah.
It's like, this is really. It's quite groundbreaking in how it, because I don't think I've ever seen that in like a mainstream homosexual movie.
Cum.
Yeah, cum. Just that graph, just wiping it like it's dripping from his mouth.
Yeah,
and he like spits it back in.
Well, there you go.
Queer.
Heroin, cum.
Heroin, cum. Yes.
Oh, I gave it 3 stars.
I gave Queer A 9 out of 10. Might be a 10. A 9 out of 10. Might be a 10 on a rewatch, but I just had a good time. I was a bit sleepy afterwards. Daniel Craig. James Bond. Show this to your grandma and say this is the new James Bond movie.
Yeah.
Just
is
say
he gay?
Daniel Craig?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Well, maybe now. Maybe now he's like honorary gay,
Sure.
Yeah, no, Grandma, he's just undercover.
So Luca Guadagnino is gay, correct?
I think definitely, absolutely, yes.
You have to wonder, does that play into it? He got 0 nominations.
It absolutely does have to play
He
into it.
released 2 movies. That's just crazy.
It's because the Academy is full with old white people, and now old Europeans, too.
Yeah.
Who don't want to ever feel anything while they watch a movie besides how good they feel about themselves. That's why Green Book, that's why Driving Miss Daisy won at the Oscars and Do the Right Thing was never nominated.
Yeah.
Because Do the Right Thing had the audacity of this black man to make them question themselves in this world.
Yeah.
The audacity. But, Driving Miss Daisy, oh.
Or segue, that's why they nominate an Emilia Perez instead of an I Saw the TV Glow.
Maybe if I Saw the TV Glow, he was obsessed with Dora the Explorer. We could have gotten the enough Hispanic representation to garner the Academy nominee. I haven't seen Emily Perez.
I Saw the TV Glow is directed by a trans person. That's the difference.
Yeah, tons.
Emilia Perez is a white French guy.
Yeah, tons of diverse directors this year. 2 movies directed by a gay guy. 1 movie directed by a trans woman. And another movie, MAXXXINE, directed by a hack fraud. In 1980s Hollywood, adult film star and aspiring actress Maxine Minx gets her big break. But as a mysterious killer stalks the starlets of Hollywood, a trail of blood threatens to reveal her sinister past. MAXXXINE, the 3rd installment of the
Mia Goth trilogy.
The Mia Goth X trilogy by Ty West.
Yeah.
The 3rd installment, I thought this movie was pretty bad.
Blue chunks. This is the way I would put it. X and Pearl are 2 movies that make you think a bad director might be good. And then MAXXXINE is the movie that makes you remember why you thought he was bad.
Because there's 2 things about both X and Pearl. X had just a lot of... X is pretty much like a remake of Texas Chainsaw for like half of it. But it's just a very entertaining slasher movie. Yeah. It's like a popcorn movie. It's very fun.
Derivative.
It's absolutely derivative, but it's a good time.
But it's good.
You throw it on, don't really pay attention to it, munch some popcorn, turn off your lights. You're like, yeah, this is a movie night.
Yep.
And Pearl has some genuinely very interesting character bits with the character of Pearl. It is the best one. It's the best one by far. There's a whole like I want to say 10-minute monologue from Mia Goth where it's just her talking. It doesn't break at all. Mm-hmm. And it's just one of the best performances I saw of sort of that year. Yeah. And in this movie, she's pretty terrible.
Yeah, she is actually.
Everybody except Kevin Bacon, I'd say, is pretty bad in this movie. I think the main thing is that Ty West as a whole is a very derivative filmmaker. I haven't seen, was it like I Saw the Devil or House of the Devil?
He did House of the Devil, I think is what it's called.
House of the Devil. But like
and then he did VHS segments.
Yeah. VHS segments, they were kind of the worst ones of that movie. But House of the Devil, I haven't even seen it, but I think it's so obvious how it's just sort of riffing on like 70s exploitation movies.
Yeah.
Again, X, very derivative of like 80s slashers, Texas Chainsaw, Friday the 13th. Pearl, sort of like just a psychological thing. I think I saw a lot from like The Shining. Just taking
Shining with flavoring of like the 20s, 30s Hollywood cinema.
Yeah, like the mix of MGM with like a dark side under it. But yeah, he's just pulling a bunch of stuff. And he manages to make it work in X and Pearl. But for MAXXXINE, I know you haven't seen like any of them, but this movie pulled a lot from old Italian giallos, where it takes all these weird twists and turns that just don't make any fucking sense at all. But the thing about those movies is that they are admired and saved by their extreme sense of atmosphere and style. They always have very interesting colors and very great soundtracks all along. It's just sort of like they just put you in this vibe that really makes you not care that the story it's telling doesn't really make sense after a while. It's just more dreamy than anything. And this movie has almost no style, no really set mood, not really a notable soundtrack. I can't remember a single song in this fucking movie.
No, not at all.
The only thing I really remember is the twist where it's her dad, which I thought was the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because they set it up at the beginning where it's the home video by her dad. And you're like, all right, yeah, I know where this is going. And then it's revealed, and you're like, was he really supposed... Because it makes you hate the other two. It makes you sort of despise X, because you're like, oh, this is what he was doing this whole time.
Yeah.
It's like, this is where this led to. And that fucking bit with the acting cop who keeps like trying to do monologues or something because he wants to be an actor.
Right.
It's so fucking stupid.
It's like, is this a comedy?
Yeah, it's trying to have like moments where it relieves the tension, a comic relief character, and it's just eye rolling because there's nothing it needs to break from. There's no tension in the movie. There's nothing scary about it.
No.
It's just a bunch of stupid, boring shit, and then they try and be funny and just roll your eyes even more. You know, they fall out of your head. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to hear Mega say I'm a star ever again in my life. By the end of this movie, I was like, no, you're not. You get off of my movie screen. Fuck.
Yeah.
It completely... I don't know. I think this was really the wrong way to go in terms of the X trilogy.
I just think, like, it's just so disappointing that it's about, like, cultish, sleazy 80s Hollywood murders, and it's not scary at all.
No. The only good bit was when the guy tries to, like, kill or rape her, and she smashes his nuts in with the high heels.
Yeah, that's legit the best part.
That was the greatest part.
That's all I really remember. I remember that. I remember there's, like, a really badly made chase scene between her and, I think, Kevin Bacon throughout, like, the movie set. I remember that sucked. And
then he ends up in, like, the car compactor thing. I liked Kevin Bacon in this movie. I thought he was the only sort of, like, consistently entertaining thing.
Yeah.
It just seems like he's just sort of goofing off. He does his thing. He does it well. I thought MAXXXINE, not X. I thought MAXXXINE, MAXXXINE. And what a title for a movie.
I know. It's stupid.
It's so fucking dumb. I'm going to give MAXXXINE a 4 out of 10. It has some interesting elements that are the only reason they're really all that interesting is because the other two movies were better. It's a sequel to those. Yeah. Kevin Bacon was cool. Balls get crushed. You know, I guess check it out if you saw the other two, but you know,
you don't have to.
You don't have to.
You really don't. I remember thinking, I think I gave it a 5 out of 10. I didn't think it was terrible. I thought it had a decent setup, and then it kind of doesn't go anywhere, and then the third act just ruins it. Not horrible, but
third acts, they're really tricky.
Yeah. Well,
perhaps the trickiest in horror movies. FBI agent Lee Harker is a gifted new recruit assigned to the unsolved case of an elusive serial killer. As the case takes complex turns, unearthing evidence of the occult, Harker discovers a personal connection to the merciless killer and must race against time to stop him before he claims the lives of another innocent family. Longlegs was new movie by Osgood Perkins, and I just sort of want to cry thinking about this movie.
Was this Neon? Is that who released it? The people at Neon who were in charge of marketing this film, they did a good job. The marketing was kind of the whole movie. the whole just moment surrounding this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It convinced a lot of people to see it.
The marketing on this one got me hook, line, and sinker.
Because
I remember when the first teaser trailer came out for this, where it's like the picture of the family Polaroid, and it's the 911 call, and he's like, "That's not my daughter," and I'm like, oh shit, this might be this kind of sounds dope."
Mm-hmm.
And then that first trailer came out, where it's really tightly edited, and it's sort of like a police procedural thing, and every time they show just a glimmer of Nicolas Cage as Longlegs, it does that high pitched sound. The moment I heard that, I was like, this is going to be movie of the year. I'm going to see this opening night.
Yeah.
This is going to be the best movie of all time. And let me tell you, we saw it in a day early screening, early access screening near the front of the theater.
Yeah.
I think I was in my seat before the trailers even started rolling because I didn't want to miss anything.
I think so. Yeah.
And then the movie starts, and it's like that Dinosaur Jr. song.
Great opening.
With the credits, you're like, this is funky, this is cool. And it goes on for a little while, and there's that scene where they're at the sort of abandoned house. They knock on the door, and it opens, and the guy gets shot in the head.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is going faster than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And then it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it's like, so the serial killer isn't actually killing people. It's like the dads of the family killing the people, but then like there's like these notes, these little zodiac hieroglyphics, and they can't figure it out, and the mom's acting suspicious, and there's dolls, and there's orbs, and it's the devil, and it's a fucking supernatural explanation. This movie bummed me the fuck out, really.
Yeah.
This movie, I left the theater just my face looked like Stonehenge. I was so disappointed in this. I had like dreams about this movie. I was so excited. Like the 2 days before this movie came out, I had a dream where I saw it.
Wow.
And I was like, and it was just so, I was so hyped for it. It was so disappointing. And I saw it again a few days later on my own, and I liked it more knowing that it's not what I expected it to be. But still, it's like that third act it takes.
Yeah.
Where, because it sets up as this really interesting police procedural thing. It like, and the most things is that in early reviews, people said it was like Silence of the Lambs more than anything. Which got me super excited.
That was in the marketing. They were like, it's the scariest thing since Silence of the Lambs.
And that got me excited because it's like Silence of the Lambs is
it's fucking awesome.
It's an awesome movie, but it's very tense, and above all, it's very grounded in reality. There's no moments of like supernatural flair. And I went into this thinking it was going to be set in reality, right? Yeah. And then Osgood Perkins has the fucking audacity to not even like in a good way explain it that it's actually the work of a devil worshiper who's using supernatural powers to put a curse on these dolls that by then curse the families.
Yeah.
It's just so sloppy. And it has such it's really tight at the beginning. And then it just falls apart. Yeah. And by the end, it feels like a different movie.
It does. I don't like when I've only seen it the one time. I struggled to think of how they even connected. Like the first act and the third. Like, okay, Longlegs, he's a freaky guy, potentially kills children. Mm-hmm. But then we have dolls. That are supernatural. And
it's like the mom acts in this sitcom. Like, you know how in sitcoms, whenever a character is lying, they're lying so obviously, but like the other characters they're talking to don't recognize that they're lying.
Yeah.
That's how she acted so fucking like suspicious and guilty. And every time the main character, who I'm headcanon is autistic.
Micah Monroe?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know, she acts like an alien from outer space in this movie.
That's true.
But it's like, are you not understanding this, that your mom is fucked up? Mm-hmm. And then it's like, he's living in the basement this whole time, and she's on it. And there's that stupid bit at the end where the police captain gets possessed, and he tries to do it's the same thing in MAXXXINE where they fucking try to do comedy bits.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't want this. This is stupid.
Yeah.
And then there's that dumb ass ending where like she kills the dad and then the doll, and I think the gun clicks or something. Isn't that right? Like she's gonna shoot the doll, whatever happens. It's sort of like it's that rising fucking Blumhouse trailer thing where it's like and then it's Nicolas Cage going, "Hail Satan," and then it's the Dinosaur Jr. song again.
Oh,
and
God.
the lights come on, and I pull out a Glock and shoot up the movie theater.
Yeah.
But I think there are a lot of good things about this movie.
Well, I think the first act is very solid. Shot really well.
It is shot fantastically. I think the main takeaway I took from this positive was that, besides the fact that Nicolas Cage is amazing as Longlegs, he does a great job. Like, that's the one thing the trailer didn't lie about, is because when you watch it, you're like, this is going to be a role of a lifetime for Nicolas Cage. And it is. He's amazing in it. But the main filmmaking takeaway I took away is that Oscar Perkins has Spielberg level competency at blocking and shot composition. It's shot so well. It's like every frame is picture perfect, especially near the beginning. Like when she's looking at all the clues and the notes in her little police room. It's so well done. But it's in service of just bullshit.
Longlegs. Unfortunate that we saw this within a day of seeing MAXXXINE as well.
Right.
And it was 3 days in problems.
Because we saw one movie before.
Kinds of Kindness also.
Yeah, we saw Kinds of Kindness, then it's all right, MAXXXINE, all right, then Longlegs.
Yeah.
3 days in a row of seeing movies at the theater.
And then you guys saw Cuckoo, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this.
Right.
Which Cuckoo is better than both of them.
True.
All three of them, actually.
Sure. Yeah. Longlegs, I thought was very disappointing, and Oscar Perkins has a new movie coming out this February called The Monkey, which I am very excited for. It looks really good.
Is that ironic?
No, it's not. I've been looking at the trailers and I'm like, this looks awesome.
Oh, okay.
So, round 2.
Longlegs, big movie, great first act. Second act, you're kind of just like, all right.
Looks awesome.
And then the third act sucks. Hey, upcoming horror filmmakers. Aspiring horror filmmakers. If you have a movie on the dome about anything satanic or supernatural, just don't make it for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch it.
Horror writers, if you're making a movie, make sure that if you're making a horror movie, sit down and ask yourself, would this still be good even if you weren't scared by it?
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, back to the drawing board.
If you're making a movie where the main threat is a physical human being, can you just keep that for the end also? Don't change it halfway through. And
not take shortcuts. It's the devil.
Yeah.
It's actually
I am not scared of the devil, Oz.
No. I'm scared of real things.
But I am scared of Nicolas Cage as Longlegs.
I'm scared of Nicolas Cage laughing like a maniac and breaking into houses.
Yeah.
Here's what I was expecting. I thought this was going to be like a home invasion sort of movie. Mm-hmm. Where Nicolas Cage is out doing these acts himself.
Kind of like just like Buffalo Bill third act in Silence of the Lambs.
Exactly. And what I got was him doing magic tricks.
Yeah.
With American Girl dolls.
Fucking stupid.
I gave this one a 6 out of 10.
I did the same thing. Yeah. And speaking of Nepo babies, M. Night Shyamalan casts his daughter in the brand new feature film. Shyamalan,
Shyamalan. A father and a teen daughter attend a pop concert where they realize they're at the center of a dark and sinister event. Trap! The new movie by M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
I thoroughly enjoy Trap.
Trap is fun. I will say my dream scenario for the movie Trap is that the whole movie would never leave the concert venue. That's kind of what I hoped it would do. Because I will say, to be honest, it kind of falls apart once we go to like the home of Josh Hartnett,
Mm-hmm.
and then the whole kind of run amok throughout the city. But it's still good.
It's just fun more than anything. I think M. Night Shyamalan gets a lot of deserved flack for his clunky, sort of like George Lucas, real people don't talk like this dialogue.
Yeah.
But it works so well, and just sort of like this B-movie structure.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's a full-on genre movie where it's just this simple premise of the serial killer. They're honing in on him, and he's just finding creative ways to get out of it. Josh Hartnett is awesome in this.
He is.
He's just the look in his face makes me piss my pants laughing. There's that scene where he's getting told that they're trying to find the butchers. That black guy at the concession stand being like, I found the butcher, and he's just smiling at him like he's about to like scream he's like screaming on the inside. It's one of the funniest shots I've seen the entire year of him. Just like he looks like he's about to start crying, like smiling at this guy.
Yeah, Josh is great. And, M. Night's dialogue works when the character is a psychopath.
Yeah, when this character is a psychopath, a child, or just like dumb stoner people.
Yeah. I think the main thing I would praise about this movie is how it looks. It looks very good. Good colors, great shots, nice evil faces.
It's so nice to see a split diopter in the big screen.
Yes.
So awesome.
I love those.
It's sort of like
Brian De Palma.
Brian De Palma.
That motherfucker loves the split diopter.
But it's just so fun and trap seeing Josh Hartnett play this absolute psycho who's very like smart. He's very like he knows what to do when put on the fly. He's very spontaneous. He's very good at making spontaneous decisions. But they're just closing in on him to the point where he just has no wiggle room to breathe. And at some point he's just like, I love the one part where they're on like the stage floor, and the singer girl, I think M. Night's daughter. Yeah. She like comes out of the floor, and there's like that big hole that's still there that's not covered up yet. And he's like just like fucking he's like, hey, what if we could just go in there and check it out? He's just trying so hard to find any reason. Yeah. And I do agree. I don't think that it falls apart, but I think when they leave the concert venue, it does sort of expose M. Night's flaws.
It gets a little goofy.
There's that whole scene of where the singer knows that he's the psycho, and he's trying so hard to just keep it all together. M. Night's daughter delivers terrible dialogue.
Yeah, she's not a good actor.
She's not a good, but it's not really her fault.
She's her music is fine.
The music is fine, and she does okay in other parts of the movie. I believe that she was like a pop star. Yeah. But it's like, I don't know how else you could have said, your husband is the butcher. Cooper is the butcher. Yeah. And at the end of the day, that's M. Night's fault for not being like, that sucked. Another take.
It also drives me a little crazy when movies still in 2024 they have an element of like using social media, but the way they depict it looks nothing like any social media you've ever seen.
I don't know. Like, I thought this was like, you ever seen Unfriended 2?
2.
Yeah, the second. That's the one where they go on like the dark web and it's not supernatural, but it's
no. I've only seen the thumbnail to the trailer.
But there's a part where they're because the whole plot of that movie is that it's not supernatural. It's they go on the dark web and then crazy hackers from the dark web start like fucking with them and killing them. But the way they access the dark web is like the stock computer nerd guy opens up a program, and it literally looks like in Minecraft when you're in a boat going down like a dark tunnel with like Minecraft torches. It looks like that. And it's like, this is like what 4-year-olds think that technology is. This is how like you actually access these sort of things. Yeah. And there's that app on his phone in Trap where it's like it shows like all of his fucked up serial killer things. Yeah. And like the app logo like it's like really devilish and really like is this like some secret like Silk Road app that's made specifically for serial killers to keep monitor of their victims?
It's like Ring doorbell.
Yeah, I don't get why it wasn't just a Ring doorbell that he had in his basement. Yeah. It's like this super secret, like you have to jailbreak your phone to get this program. Yeah. it didn't make sense. And there's also that bit at the end where he's in the limo and he somehow gets out of it. But that's like it. But it's at the point of the movie where you're like, fuck it, I'm just here.
It is the type of movie that just it keeps going like 6 times. It just finds a way to keep going.
And I think M. Night was very successful in his attempt to make a B movie. I know he likes to pretend. He lives in La La Land with Sugar Plum Fairies and likes to say that The Happening was supposed to be a B movie. When you watch it and you're like, no, this guy was trying to do something real. And it failed because it's a terrible movie. There's no irony to this at all.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff going on in Trapped.
Definitely.
And I don't want to say it like winks at the camera, but I'm going to say it winks at the camera. But it doesn't piss you off because it's just a fun time. It's a fun movie. It doesn't take itself seriously.
Yeah.
It's just a little fun theme park ride.
It grimaces at the camera.
Exactly.
With a furrowed brow.
It looks in the camera and goes,
Yeah. M. Night, I think he's in his kind of self-aware era after like Last Airbender. I think starting with like Split, he's kind of found his groove.
I'm glad he's not trying to tackle like serious subjects because I also didn't see Knock at the Cabin, but I'm pretty sure that was a movie about like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, like this big grand the world is ending sort of thing. And it's nice for him to just bring it down and just have it be sort of this like just grounded, goofy, fun movie about a killer. I'm gonna give Trap. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
I did the same. When I think about it a little too hard, I like it less. But I'm going to stop myself from doing that. So 7 out of 10.
I enjoy the fact of how it's very unpretentious.
Yeah.
Very unpretentious. In the near future, a group of war journalists attempt to survive while reporting the truth as the United States stands on the brink of civil war. Civil War, directed by Alex Garland.
Oh, God.
This was a big old nothing burger of a movie. If I've ever seen one.
I kind of don't have much to say about it.
I have something. It feels like he's making this grand political statement, and this is this is going to be the funny thing. Watching 4 years, everything in this movie just ages so well.
Probably.
That'd be so just hilarious. He just got it right on the money, but I just hate how fucking
evil army soldiers running in and killing the president.
Yeah, the president's on his 3rd term because he's a dictator.
Oh, yeah.
But the way it's like he's making this grand political statement, but just the movie itself isn't that interesting.
No, it's really not.
Every single awesome, cool bit about this movie is like shown off screen and talked about.
Exactly.
You know, I loved at the beginning. There was like that title card, which is like Civil War after the president has entered his 3rd term. And I'm like, oh shit! Like this is something else. And then there's just like, I love everything with the president because I just think that sort of like dictator character and the politics surrounding how this country got into the Civil War is so interesting, and it's so obvious that he's just like, but actually, we're not going to show you that. We're going to show you what really happens afterwards. But it's like, I don't care.
It's like it's like it's trying to do like a zone of interest type format where it's like there's horrible shit going on, but you're only going to get glimpses of it.
Yeah.
Instead, you're going to get comically uninteresting shit instead, where they're just on a fucking road trip, essentially, taking photos.
There's nothing I hate more in movies than when the hardened vet gets paired up with the fresh-faced, ambitious kid.
I hate it.
It fucking sucks every time.
Yeah.
Even The Last of Us is one of my favorite games. The TV show is pretty good too. And even then, I'm liking this in spite of this dynamic. You know?
Yeah, I agree.
I just hate it so fucking much. And I don't care about them at all.
No.
I want them both to die. They're both annoying. Everyone in this movie is annoying. The only person I liked was Jesse Plemons when he killed that guy for no reason.
Yeah, that's just one scene.
Just because he was crazy and it was interesting. It showed you another glimpse of this world that you're not seeing because for some reason we're only seeing it from the perspective of these two journalists who somehow never managed to stumble upon anything actually interesting.
I know. It's really that, and it's that other scene that still confuses me where they're in a shootout and then it ends with a De La Soul 3 feet 9 rising needle drop.
Is that the one?
What is the tone of this?
I don't know. And then the one guy from Dune's in there, the fat guy.
Yeah.
He was also on the Wu-Tang show. He's all right.
He is.
Yeah, I think he's like RZA's grandfather or something that he sees in flashbacks.
Great. He's in Beau is Afraid also.
Oh, right. Is he like the therapist?
He's the therapist.
Right.
Lady Bird.
Never seen it.
He's an A24 star player, it seems. I like the ending of Civil War,
where like they're about to kill him, and he's like, "Please don't let the." Do you have? I want to get a word in for my school newspaper, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
He's like, "Please don't let them kill me." He's like, "All right, thank you." And he just leaves. And they kill him. There's like the Polaroids of them with his dead body. That's just so interesting, and all we see are these dumb fucking these two sides fighting in shootouts that are just so loud, and it's just, and after a while you're like, I don't care because I don't have a fucking Xbox controller in my hand, you know. It's like it's like
that's what I said. I when I saw it, I thought the dialogue was very weird, amateur shit. It felt like zombie game on the 360 cutscenes.
Right. And and I like those games because I get to play them. And this is a movie where I get to watch these fucking stupid characters just do nothing, really. They just drive.
Yeah.
And nothing interesting happens. And every time they try and have like these little in between the action heart-to-heart moments where they're talking to each other, you're like, you know what? Give me back the stupid action. I want to see these people die.
Yes, I would much rather see that.
I don't know. I thought Civil War was a total swing and a miss from old Alex Garland.
Yeah.
I'm very unexcited for the new 28 Days Later. I think it looks really bad.
Oh, he is. Is he directing that?
I think he's writing it, and Danny Boyle is.
Oh,
Alex
okay.
Garland,
He did the original.
Yeah, Alex Garland wrote the original.
Well,
but it looks terrible.
Hell no.
And I heard Ex Machina looks stupid. Men look stupid. Alex Garland might be the worst filmmaker working today. I don't have to watch another movie by him.
Yeah, because when we saw Civil War, I was planning on watching Ex Machina before that, but I just didn't. So this is the only movie of his I've seen.
Interesting elements that aren't expounded upon, and it pisses me off because it's like a purposeful decision to not expound upon them.
Yeah,
I'm going to show you all the boring bits to show you how it really go down in the real world. I'm giving Civil War a 5 out of fucking 10.
Confusing. I gave it a 4 out of 10. Not good. Seemed to be a pretty divisive movie. Either everyone loved it or hated it. A lot of people liked it, so I don't really see how. I also am sad because when I saw Priscilla, I said, "Oh, I would like to see more of Kaylee Spaney," and then she was in this movie and sucked.
Sucks so bad.
Yeah.
If there wasn't those like little interesting exposition bits, this movie would have been fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Fucking awful. The worst movie of the year. Genius artist Caesar Catalina seeks to leap the city of New Rome into a utopian, idealistic future, while his opposition, Mayor Franklin Cicero, remains committed to a regressive status quo, perpetuating greed, special interests, and partisan warfare, torn between them and socialite Julie Cicero, the mayor's daughter, whose love for Caesar has divided her loyalties, forcing her to discover what she truly believes humanity deserves. Even the fucking
that was the letterbox synopsis?
It's a whole fucking essay trying to explain
Jesus Christ.
Movie. Megalopolis by old man who should be put down.
Washed Francis Ford Coppola.
Washed like a beach whale. Francis Ford Coppola. This is without a doubt the worst movie of the entire year.
Oh yeah. Just a grand, spectacular failure.
Right, and
one of the most perplexing things I've ever seen.
It's so fucking... It's amazing. And the other bad movies we talked about here, MAXXXINE or Civil War,
Yeah.
I can understand where the defenders are coming from, you know? But this is a movie where it's like, how do you watch this and think this is good?
Yeah.
I see so many people online. I think people online make a crucial mistake in that they think this is a movie with a big message, when actually it's a movie with a broad message.
Yeah.
This fucking giant paint stroke that Francis Ford Coppola thinks is the most profound thing ever, and he's going to build this whole bullshit movie around it when he's really not saying anything.
It's a very simple movie.
It's so simple, and like its message, so milk toast. It's not this grand statement at all.
No.
Like even because I saw this movie and I made like a conscious effort, like I'm gonna try and soak myself into this.
I did too. I wanted to like it.
I wanted to love it. I was excited for this.
Yeah.
And even when reading this fucking essay of a Letterboxd bio, I'm still just sort of like, what is this? What's the point?
Yeah.
You know, what is this movie trying to like say? Like that's supposed to connect with me.
Other than we need to change our ways.
We need to build a better world for the future.
Yeah. Like, okay, sure.
It's like
not
only is that a message that by itself is so plain.
Yeah.
But just the story that's within it, it's like, I know he was drawing parallels with like the fall of Rome.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Boring. The only thing I thought was interesting story-wise in here was the bit about Adam Driver being able to stop time. There's that opening scene where like, I think he's like about to fall and he stops time.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is a very, like, the rest of the movie is pretty, not grounded, but it's very simple. It's, you understand what's happening. But that sort of stopping time element, that was the only thing that got me thinking. I was like, I wonder what this whole thing is about. And then there's that dumbass scene where he loses, after he gets in like a fight or something, he's in jail, he loses the ability to stop time. And then he's just like, I've lost my power. I can't stop time. And then the fucking dumbass love interest is like, stop it for me. And you're like, oh, okay, yep, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. No, it's a metaphor about being creative and finding your muses or whatever. Yeah, sure. Cool. That's awesome. That's hilarious. This movie is very funny.
It's very funny.
It's very funny. Occasionally, it'll be intentional.
Yeah.
Intentionally funny.
Which is confusing when it is intentionally funny.
What do you think is this boner I got?
Yeah, that, or when he says, "Oh, go back to the club." Like, you're supposed to laugh at that.
Yes.
It's like,
why? It is so funny.
What is the tone of this?
It's just like these characters talk in this weird fucking way. Like, there's that sex scene. It is exactly like Star Wars. It's exactly George. Like, this is why
I felt it was very
a mistake.
Yeah. I felt this movie was very similar to a Star Wars prequel. It's very simple, but it drowns it in a bunch of weird ideas that don't like apply to anything. The dialogue is stupid. The acting is terrible and stilted. There's a lot of bad effects, a lot of bad supernatural weird ideas.
There's that one part where like his eye is part skeleton.
Yeah.
It looks so bad.
Yeah.
It looks so terrible. And there are some very good visual elements to this movie. There's that part, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it's like a bomb drop, or it's like a comet coming by. Whatever it is, there's this big flash of light, and there's that silhouette of all these people, sort of like the crowd, like seething and like flailing their arms and screaming in slow motion, and their shadows are projected against like the tall buildings, and that's such a striking image. That is such a great image. And then there's that one montage where it's sort of like that like 1920s like 4-hour Napoleon movie where it's like triple split screen.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. And then after a while, he like makes the city out of the Megalon, and it looks like he's living in like Arthur and the Invisibles type shit. It's like it has so much interesting things to say visually, with just combined with terrible special effects.
Yeah.
And this movie has two moods: either like swamp green or just yellow.
Yellow.
Just so yellow.
It's not appealing.
No, and there's so many, like, the way the dialogue scenes in this work. There's that one scene near the end where Giancarlo Esposito, I think he has, like, his baby, and they're in, like, the subway, and they're talking.
Yeah.
And I said this before, but just the way they're talking, it sounds like they're setting up that at one moment, one of the characters is just going to fart really loudly. Like, that's going to be the payoff. Like, there's tension in they're talking, and there's this sort of, like, tension, just the way they say the words, that you think at any time it's going to be like Francis Ford Coppola's going to squeeze in a part where they just go.
It could very well happen.
I was expecting it to happen at any moment. I don't know why. I'm gonna edit this into the video. I'm gonna get that scene.
I have to see the clip.
Trust me, Daddy.
Yeah. That's funny.
I don't know if that was like, I don't know if that was pro, but I just felt like I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
And it's just so fucking funny that Megalopolis ends up being the size of, like, Times Square. It's like a block large.
Yeah.
It's not like a big city. It's like a housing project.
Yeah.
It's beautifully hilarious, beautifully terrible, and epic ... fail.
Yeah. Well, one more Star Wars comparison is that it has a lot of weird, like, detour moments. Like the weird like show that they do in the Roman cathedral.
Mm-hmm.
Or like there's like it's like a weird like drug trip sequence as well. It kind of reminds me of like Phantom Menace, like the pod racing stuff that doesn't matter, and it's kind of visually okay, but it's like, why are we here? And it goes on so long.
Mm-hmm. There's that scene at the Coliseum. I think it's like someone's birthday party or something. And at the there's a moment where they start doing bidding, and these rich people start holding up these bidding cards, and they have QR codes on them.
Yeah.
And this might be just my schizophrenic mind, but I was watching it in the theater, and I was like contemplating pulling out my phone and scanning them, because I was like, all right, obviously the $120 million did not go into this movie. What if this is like a marketing ploy, and if I scan this, I get money?
Yeah. Also, we should talk about the fourth wall moment in the movie that had a lot of conversation when it was at Cannes. Where,
oh, yeah.
Because at Cannes, the premiere of the movie was, there's a scene in the movie where Adam Driver is basically doing like a press conference, and someone in the audience asked him a question, but at Cannes, they had an actual audience member go up to a microphone and talk to the screen. And Adam Driver talks back to him. And it's like, okay, how is that going to work when the movie gets put in theaters? They just shrunk the screen to like the very bottom. It's like 90% black. And he's just talking to nothing.
And that makes sense, because at Cannes, like, that's how they get it to be eye level with the person.
Yeah.
And what I thought was going to happen, I thought that their version of that for like a wide release was they were going to have like a silhouette of a guy on screen walking.
Yeah.
I thought that's what's going to happen. It's going to be like the size of how you would be standing in a movie theater on the screen, a black silhouette walking and asking Adam Driver this question as if he's like a little character on the bottom looking up at him at this giant Adam Driver. Yeah. That's how I thought they were going to do it. But no, it's just the same film as Cannes, but it's like, for one, that's a dumb marketing thing, because there's no reason for him to be talking to a real person at all.
No. The question that they ask is like, no one watching the movie would even think to ask him that. Like, they don't care. Right.
They would be asking, like, why
no one's invested in this.
Why is this happening?
They're all like, oh my god, fucking get on with it.
So it's just a normal scene of a reporter asking Adam Driver a question, but it's still shrunk with like 90% of the screen being black. It's like, did they lose the raw footage and they couldn't just blow it back up to normal size and just have it be a regular scene in the movie? Like, I can't imagine this movie is going to come out, because Francis Ford Coppola is already like an established filmmaker. His name is in the canon for the American greats, and people in the future are going to go through his filmography. They're going to watch this movie, maybe not know the context, and that scene's going to happen. And they're going to be like, is my Blu-ray player broken?
True. How is that on digital? I haven't looked.
I haven't looked either.
I
But
hope they fixed it.
they better have, but I can't imagine they have.
That'd be funny if they did not. It's just even
I
smaller.
can't wait in 5 years of all the Reddit threads. We're like, I just got Megalopolis on 8K Blu-ray. Why is it shrunk in this one scene?
It's such a shit show.
It's terrible. It's a fucking awful movie.
And you know what? Francis doesn't even have that many good movies anyway.
No,
It's like
he
4.
has. Right. Apocalypse Now is a smash hit.
Yeah, Godfather 1 and 2.
Conversation. Was good.
I watched One from the Heart before Megalopolis. I was gonna watch more, but we kind of ran out of time. So I watched One from the Heart, which was like his original disaster. That movie sucks too. It's so boring. It's just like this. It's very simple and says nothing else. I don't even know what I'm supposed to take from it.
New Hollywood was a mistake.
Yeah. Coppola washed. I gave Megalopolis 1 star out of 5, which I guess would mean 2 out of 10.
I gave Megalopolis a 3 out of 10. 3
boners out of 10.
3 amazing Midnight Cowboy boners out of 10.
Yeah, I hope I never watch it again.
Me neither. But you know what? I gotta say, I was thoroughly entertained by the madness of it all. I wasn't bored. I thought it was funny. I loved seeing a big shit show. But it wasn't boring.